What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam and welcome back to another Comically Boston Weekly Nerdy News Monday podcast. I love doing these weekly nerdy news podcasts, although today I am recording this on a snowy Saturday here in Boston, Massachusetts. It is currently February 1st, but when this comes out, it will be February 3rd of 2025, which would be my 26th birthday. Thank you guys so much for anyone that wished me a happy birthday, and this will be coming out on my birthday, so I figured maybe give myself a Monday off for once instead of recording videos, do something for your birthday. So future Cam is thanking past Cam, I hope, for getting some videos prepared so he can have a day or two off during this weekend of my birthday where I turn 26. And Monday I probably have to go over and change my license and get that renewed and stuff like that, and insurance drops me from my mother's plan when I turn 26, so gotta figure that stuff out, health insurance, dental, stuff like that, so it will be an eventful 2025, but I have crazy things going on this year and tons of stuff that we'll be doing and covering. I'm thinking about doing a Daredevil Born Again rewatch series, or rewatching all the episodes from Daredevil, the Netflix 3 seasons, maybe Punisher, the Defenders. So comment below if that would be something you would be interested to see. But let's get into today's news, shall we? The main topics I want to talk about today, but we'll be talking about at the end of today's video, is the Russo brothers are going to be doing an X-Men film? And also, yet another Sony box office flop. So I'm sure you guys can guess which movie that was, but we'll be talking about it and jumping right into it, so let's get into it, shall we? The first topic of today that I want to discuss is we got a first look at Benoui Blanc, played by Daniel Craig, and I believe that's Josh O'Connor behind him from Zendaya's Challengers. He was one of the men alongside of Zendaya in that movie. But this will be titled Wake Up Dead Man, and this is a Knives Out mystery. This would be Knives Out 3. I love Knives Out and Glass Onion, the first two films, and I really like Daniel Craig's Benoui Blanc. So I think this movie's going to be fun. I don't know when this comes out, but I'm guessing soon if we're starting to see images from it. And the cast for this, if I remember correctly, is quite insane. So comment below, are you a Knives Out murder mystery type of fan? The next image we're going to be looking at is our first image of Oscar Isaac in Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein film. And I'm guessing he's going to be playing like a Dr. Victor Frankenstein, and I believe Jacob Elordi is his Frankenstein's monster. So very interesting, and then with a filmmaker like Guillermo del Toro, I'm sure this movie's going to be all types of crazy, and it's going to look awesome, and it's going to be directed well, acted incredibly well. And Oscar Isaac's one of my favorites, so I'm hoping to see him as like a Moon Knight sooner rather than later in the MCU. I really loved that first season, so, might as well get a second one. Another image here we're going to be checking out from Juarrasic Park Rebirth with Scarlett Johansson, and it looks like Jonathan Bailey is over here raiding a dinosaur nest of some kind and stealing an egg. I don't know if that's a smart idea. Dinosaurs don't like when you take their eggs. But I'm guessing the first trailer we're going to see from Juarrasic Park Rebirth will be at the Super Bowl, which shall be next Sunday. So next Monday's podcast, which I believe will be February 10th, I will be breaking down all the trailers and all the crazy news that happened at the Super Bowl, and not necessarily covering the Super Bowl the game, but covering all the commercials and all the trailers that came out and all the news that came out during the game. I will be covering all that on next week's Weekly Nerdy News podcast, so subscribe and hit that bell so you get the notifications and you don't miss that one. The next topic that we're going to be talking about is Old Guard 2 has been greenlit, and I haven't seen Old Guard 1. I've heard interesting things and that it was an interesting movie. I do like Charlize Theron, so I might have to check out this movie. Old Guard 1, I believe, is on Netflix. And if you have seen Old Guard, Is it a good movie? Comment below your thoughts. I would love to know if this movie deserves a sequel and if it deserves the first movie to go check it out, you know what I mean? The next film is just a poster, but it is from director Steven Soderbergs, written by David Koepp, and starring Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Marissa Abela, Tom Burke, Naomi Harris, Regé-Jean Page, and Pierce Brosnan. Ooh, we got a little 007 in there, Pierce Brosnan. I like him. And it takes a spy to hunt a spy. So this is kind of like a spy movie, and it's good. It's titled Black Bag, Steven Soderbergh's next film, and it shall be releasing in theaters in March 14th. I don't know about that one, but that cast interests me a lot. Steven Soderbergh does tend to do some films that are really crazy and interesting, and he's a good director that I like. I'm not positive just because it's off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure he directed the Ocean's 11 trilogy with Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, and George Clooney. So, yeah, I'm going to be interested in his next film, Black Bag. Good cast. This next image is from Happy Gilmore 2, and this one is going to be coming this year at some point on Netflix, and they were shooting this, and Margaret Qualley's supposed to be in here. I mean, the cast, I'm sure, is going to be ridiculous, but we know Shooter McGavin's coming back, Happy Gilmore's coming back, and it's just great to see Adam Sandler again in a Bruins jersey with shitty sweatpants and Timberlands on a golf course, doing that little hop skip Happy Gilmore drive, right? Like, I think the world needs to heal a little bit, and Happy Gilmore 2 might be perfect for that. And also in the background there, if you can make that out, that his caddy is Bad Bunny, which is just hilarious. Love Bad Bunny. He's a friggin'... I wish I spoke Spanish so I could really understand the nuances of what he's saying, but he's so funny when he's on like Jimmy Fallon and shit. And I'm pretty sure he's also maybe going to be at the Royal Rumble this weekend. At this point it would have already happened, but that'd be cool. It's Saturday when I'm recording this, so I'm going to be watching the Royal Rumble tonight, so that's exciting stuff. I can't wait for that. This next poster we're going to be checking out is from The White Lotus Season 3, Emmy Award-winning series, and it is back for a Season 3, February 16th, only on Max, and Walton Goggins is going to be in here. Do I recognize anyone else? Not really. No, I don't. Walton Goggins is the only actor I really can pick out off the cover here. But, yeah, I'm sure this Season 3 is going to be wild. The first two seasons were crazy, and my mother loved them. I've yet to check them out, but right around the corner, February 16th, so maybe this is my chance to get into White Lotus and check out the first two seasons. Comment below if you've seen White Lotus. It's great to see my guy Jeremy Renner back for Season 4 of his show Mayor of Kingstown. And, you know, this is just phenomenal stuff from him, considering how damaged and beat up he was a couple years ago from getting ran over by a snowcat. And, like, you know, being able to just walk again would be incredible. This guy's back acting and doing fight scenes, and he was back doing Season 3 stuff, like, pretty soon after that accident. Now it's been another year or so since, you know, he's been back, so maybe he's getting, you know, a little bit more mobile, a little bit better, you know, training his ass off, working hard. I mean, Jeremy Renner's a real-life Avenger. I think this guy's amazing, and he is Hawkeye, and cannot wait to see him maybe in a Hawkeye Season 2, but I gotta see him as Hawkeye again, especially after that shit. I just want to see my boy again, you know what I mean? Like, I loved Hawkeye Season 1, especially running during Christmas. That was so much fun. So, I mean, I'd love to see that again. Maybe they'll do that for Christmas this year, but I doubt it. Maybe Christmas next year. Who knows? But yeah, Jeremy Renner Season 4. Have you watched Mayor of Kingstown streaming on Paramount Plus? Comment that thing down below. Is it any good? I heard it's pretty wild, actually. Speaking of pretty wild, a new trailer came out and a new poster here for Ryan Coogler's Sinners with Michael B. Jordan starring as twins. And on the title, on the cover here, it says Dance with the Devil, shot with IMAX film cameras, and it's going to be in theaters in April. I cannot wait for this one. This one looks really good. I'm always fascinated when there's two of the same actor playing roles next to each other. Like, that's just, the filmmaking side of it just fascinates me. Like, how did they do this and make it look like there's actually two guys standing there when we both well know that there's only one Michael B. Jordan. But yeah, so he's going to be playing twins. And then Hailee Steinfeld's fine ass is in here. And it looks like she's going to be a vampire? What? I'm in. She's a vampire. She turns one of Michael B. Jordan's twins into a vampire, and then it's Hailee Steinfeld, Michael B. Jordan's twin vampire versus the other Michael B. Jordan and the people in this barn or whatever. Like, I don't know where this vampire story will be going, but I'm certainly going to be watching this one. I mean, I love Ryan Coogler as a director too, whether it's Black Panther, Creed, Fruitvale Station. Michael B. Jordan's fantastic as well, and I mean, shit, Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler have done quite a few projects together, so it's just cool that they're doing yet another. And you know, maybe Ryan Coogler after this goes back to do a Black Panther 3, so that's exciting stuff for me. Also exciting stuff, Den of Thieves with Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr., Mr. Ice Cube's son, Ice Cube Jr. I love O'Shea Jackson Jr., he's so funny. And I've heard great things about Den of Thieves 2. I wanted to go see it in theaters. I have yet to do that, so I believe it's also available for rent now on Amazon Prime, you know, VOD or whatever. But it has been greenlit for Den of Thieves 3. So is Den of Thieves going to be the next Fast and Furious, and we're just going to keep going with these films? Like, give me 10 Den of Thieves. Even if we don't get 10, it's cool that this, you know, film, like this heist movie, is getting a trilogy. And I heard the second one really ups the ante, but it's not like local. It's like all over the place and all over the globe. And Gerard Butler's not just a cop, right? I think the second one, it's him and O'Shea working together to do a heist, which is just wild. Like, you know, this guy was a cop in the first movie, now he's like going to be a villain or, you know, a thief. Crazy. The next crazy topic I want to talk about is the cast for Christopher Nolan's new film, which should be based off of the book Odyssey, the Iliad and the Odyssey type of thing, I believe. So Homer's, I believe, the Odyssey. Cast so far: Tom Holland, Matt Damon, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o, friggin' Wild Robot. Loved Lupita in that. She was phenomenal. That movie's great. If you haven't checked it out, go check that out. Robert Pattinson's fucking Batman ass is going to be in here. Charlize Theron, John Bernthal, Benny Safdie, Hamish Patel, Elliot Page, Bill Irwin, Samantha Morton, and John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo, I mean, he's one of my favorite voices. He's just so funny. Sid the Sloth, I mean, you know, he's great. But this cast, I mean, this is only, what, 12, 14 people? Crazy that just between that 14, the star power in here. Like, I didn't even realize Charlize Theron or Elliot Page was in here. You know, I heard some of these other ones in the recent week, but like, you know, just the first four of Tom Holland, Zendaya, Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway. I mean, if it's two couples, right, and those are those two stars of the movie, and it's Matt and Anne and Tom and Zendaya, or maybe they switch it up. For some reason, it's Tom and Anne and Matt and Zendaya, right? And you're like, huh? Okay, whatever. I mean, John Bernthal's in here. Maybe he's gonna be some crazy villain, friggin' Punishering it up, friggin', you know, like, you know, primal screaming and shit. Who knows? All I know is, coming off of Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's next film is probably going to be absurd. Like, let's be real. But coming into the last topics of today, into the Marvel news, Agatha All Along is putting out a tarot deck and guidebook. Well, if there's any witchy fans or tarot card fans out there, and they were big fans of Agatha All Along, I feel like this is a great way to get into both of those things, you know? Tarot cards, Agatha? I mean, I might have to get that with my sister or something, you know? It's some witchy people. But the next topic is Sony's box office flop of Kraven the Hunter. Kraven has finished its theatrical run. Globally, the film made $59 million, which still, you know, $60 million is a crazy amount of money. But the film's budget was about $110 million. So barely made half of its money back, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And like, if that's just the film's budget, then there's like the budget for press, you know, like, I believe Sony lost a bag on this one for sure. But like, you know, if in the 3 movies that Sony put out this year, or in 2024, between Madam Web, Venom, and Kraven the Hunter, did any of those make money? Like, just a tough year for Sony. Whew. You suck. You suck. You didn't see that coming? You fucking wankers. I can't stand Sony, and they deserve to let this movie flop. Now, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Russell Crowe, they don't deserve the movie to flop. They tried to make a good movie. But Sony sucks at making good movies and sucks at making these Marvel characters. And apparently, the film that they had slated for 2025 or 2026, whichever it was, which people thought was going to be Spider-Man 4, has now been moved back or canceled all entirely. So, I don't know. I'm hoping and praying maybe that the time limit that they have to, put out a Spider-Man movie or something, I'm hoping, it just like expires and the rights revert back to Marvel, right? Like, I'm praying. I know it won't happen, but like I'm praying. I'm crossing everything, hoping that Sony just flops so bad. Like, they're flop sweating every day, and you can just tell, right? Like, they're awful, so bad. But to end up today's show, rumor has it that the Russo brothers, Joe and Anthony Russo, aka the guys that did Captain America Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, right? Like, big old Marvel directors, right? And they notoriously had said, we don't want to come back after doing Infinity War and Endgame. And then all of a sudden an idea sparked, and now they're coming back to do Avengers Doomsday. They brought back Robert Downey Jr. to be Doom. They got, Secret Wars coming after that. And apparently now the rumor has it that they have signed on to do several Marvel projects, including a X-Men movie. Which could be what? X-Men versus the Avengers? X-Men versus Marvel or whatever? Or could it be like a bring the X-Men 97 to the live-action universe? Or could it be a reboot entirely? We're going to be getting a new Cyclops, a new Storm, Gambit, maybe Wolverine, Beast, like maybe they'll avoid Wolverine because they got Hugh Jackman till he's 90, but maybe they're going to get a new Storm, Jean, Nightcrawler, Rogue, right? Like, they could fill out the rest of those pieces phenomenally, you know what I mean? Like in Jubilee and bringing out everybody. I want to see them all, especially after the success of X-Men 97 and how much that looked and felt so amazing. Like, I gotta see an X-Men in live action, whether it's bringing back that Fox X-Men one last time to do an X-Men versus Avengers type of thing. That would be really cool. I feel like I almost need to see that in some way, shape, or form, even if it's like a quick scene in Doomsday or Secret Wars. That would be cool. I almost feel like you need to do a whole movie on it, though. You almost need to do an Avengers versus X-Men. I feel like that would be awesome. I feel like that would be something that maybe the Russo brothers would want to do. I don't know. But it also really just depends what the deal is with Doomsday and Secret Wars and what's going on there. And I feel like we're about to get pieces and clues into where we're going and where this is heading with Captain America Brave New World coming out Valentine's Day just in a couple weeks. So stay tuned for my breakdown of that and coverage on Captain America Brave New World. We also got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man running right now, so stay tuned for the episode 3, 4, and 5 breakdown coming out very soon. We also have the Super Bowl trailers coming out, which I believe Juarrasic Park Rebirth, or Jurassic World Rebirth, is going to be dropping a trailer. The Fantastic Four is probably going to be dropping a trailer. Maybe a new look at Thunderbolts. Maybe a new Superman trailer. Maybe a new trailer for Daredevil Born Again coming in March. So there's plenty of stuff to talk about and plenty of news that we're going to be covering next week. And if anything came out Saturday or Sunday news-wise, don't worry, we'll talk about it some other point next week. And if I missed anything or anything that you guys want to talk about and chat with me, you can message me on my other social medias, links down below, my Letterboxd, Instagram, all those things. Big Cam, 2 G's in the Big, pretty much anywhere. Look for this ugly face and you'll find me. Thank you guys so much for coming on by. If you'd like to support the channel, the best way to do that is by liking this video, subscribing if you're new, hitting that bell so you don't miss future videos, and subscribing. That really goes a long way. Commenting goes a long way, gets into the algorithm, and really helps the channel out. So I appreciate everyone that does that. And I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.